should probably start very basically and explain what is DBED. Some people don't know that. Lyle,
Sure.
you can do that. But
Great.
first, I'd like to thank DBED because we're able to put on these export university events and export tech and some other things that we do to educate Hawaii companies about exporting. We're able to do that all because of a grant from DBED. So I think from the Hawaii Pacific Export Council, we would like to say thank you to DBED for that support. It allows us to travel to the Big Island, to Maui, and elsewhere, allows us to make these videos and bring you guys in here to do this and train you on exporting. So thank you to DBED for that.
Well, thank you, Rob, and thanks to HPEC, because without you folks, we wouldn't be able to do the training. We're the state, the government, and we have the policy, the strategy, and some of the execution, but we're not able to do everything. We have experts who have, for several years done great work in the region, and so we can rely on you folks to pass on this knowledge. And I just went to Osaka a couple weeks ago, and I just realized you can't have enough training. I mean, I've been in Tokyo for 14 years, and I still need to have brush-ups and what have you. So it's great to be able to work with you all. John Holm is here from the commercial service. Definitely you want to meet John. Make sure that you know him because you can definitely rely on the commercial service in country. So very quickly, DBED is everything about economic development. Tourism is an attached agency. Our division is really export promotion, as well as there's a bit of what you call community-based economic development. Why exports? We really drive, or we want to drive job growth through manufacturing, through the growth of exports. And so we put a lot of effort into it, and we've seen success over the years. A few of you have mentioned the Tokyo International Gift Show. We are in our 5th year, and we have over 60 companies going now. Every year has grown, and we're talking about millions of dollars in orders being made. It's the largest gift show that is in Asia.
Now, Lyle, you personally are a Japan expert.
I lived in Tokyo. I don't ever call myself an expert. I speak Japanese, I read and write, and I still need to delve into those things. It's about the person, right? You talk about understanding all that. So it is important to, like we kept talking about, the relationship building and information and understanding those things. So I do have a certain perspective. Marketing. I was marketing in Tokyo for foreign, American firms, foreign firms, and did a lot of food marketing actually. So understanding a little bit of that. But so back in Hawaii, we are about growing exports, growing manufacturing. We use trade shows as a big tool, but we're very fortunate to receive this grant from the SBA, which is called the State Trade Expansion Program. They just recently changed the name. We are up again for funding. We're anxiously waiting to hear hopefully positive news for next year, because essentially High Step, while we're going through a bit more of Export University, a couple of programs are really finishing as of really today actually. We have, maybe just going to go through very quickly, maybe the next slide. There's three areas of High Step export readiness training. Export tech, which Rob mentioned, is really your kind of MBA of exporting. People who are experienced in already exporting. I think it's refined business, in foreign countries. Export University really is the 101, the basics. But as you know, we're trying to do different levels. So do let us know what you're looking for, and we will find those experts. Assistance program is a funding mechanism targeted at individual companies. We've been very successful. Today is actually the deadline for this iteration. We've been granting $6,000 to be applied towards shipping costs, localization, travel to trade shows. And we look to hopefully get a larger grant this time around where we can expand it to 15,000 and have your broader annual export plan. So this has been a very successful part of High Step. And then of course we have the pavilions, which are essentially the efforts that we do trade shows, having the Hawaii pavilions, as Rob was talking about, using the Hawaii brand. We are looking into developing that further into more marks that will really show that your brand, your products are made in Hawaii. Coming up in a couple weeks, the Made in Hawaii Festival. All those companies have to certify that at least 51% of their value has been manufactured in Hawaii. So we look at those kinds of things. So I think we will continue to promote Hawaii-made products. We want to differentiate Hawaii-made products and show that the brand value is there. Again, like I mentioned, being in Osaka, just phenomenal seeing how much affinity there continues to be for Hawaii-made culture, products, music, the experience. It's very much an emotional attachment, like Rob was saying. So that means you have high profitability, right? You can make your price, and people should be willing to pay for that. So these are really details. Again, this is relevant because this continues. We have September 14th is the 201 version of Export University. So please do, unless you're on the Big Island and you want to have another go around. I think having this kind of small group, this cohort, is always very helpful because we're all in the same boat. We have to help each other, and we just share information, and it helps. I think so. As much as you can learn from the experts here, definitely you all are experts on your own. So please do share information as you can, and so being in these meetings are going to be helpful. As I talked about, these are the details of the program, but maybe talk about eligibility. Essentially all companies are going to be really eligible. Small business concerned, there's a couple of papers that we have you sign, to certify that you're not barred from receiving federal funds. Really, you should be in business and have an idea of really how you're going to export. What is your differentiation? Why would you attack, the say Japan? Why is that a good market for you? And really have that detailed and say, these are the actions I'm taking. This is what I expect to do, and put that into your application. This is an important part, being compliant. State Department of Commerce and Consumer, so DCCA, being online there. Of course, your current G tax license. This compliance part is a sticking point for a lot of companies. I think just one of the artists who went to Osaka, she recently got married and she never changed her name on the business, and it just kind of took some time to get things going for her. So basic stuff that you need to really get going. You have my contact information, but Jamie Lum is our manager for this program. Again, we hope to do this again. It's been very successful, again, with our partners here at HBEC. Tell your friends. We have a real need to get the information out to others, other like-minded manufacturers, exporters, because it took us a while to really get going on the awareness of the program, and we want people to be very excited because it's a great program. So I ran through this because it's essentially, it's really kind of finishing up, but again, Export University is going to continue. Look out for news. Hopefully we will get the grant from SBA and we can, do a bigger and better high step for next year. Apply early. Don't wait till the last minute because it just adds a lot of confusion and difficulties for things. Besides High Step, there's other programs that we work on, and sometimes they dovetail, but, if there's anything else, please do contact me. Thanks for coming today. Really glad, good broad range of companies, and so good to see that. Thanks.
Any questions for Lyle?
Lyle, I have a question. So, just in case everyone missed it, the state has up to $6,000 that the companies in this room can apply for to facilitate their export.
That really was today.
The
right?
deadline was today. They just found out about it.
Yeah.
Are there still funds available? Could they still submit an application?
Not for this one. So they would have to wait till we announce for next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have all those
Next
funds
year,
been claimed so far?
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we're looking for is expanding that to 15,000. And so we thought maybe 6,000 was maybe a lower amount that people may not have thought was not worth it to even apply for it. But $6,000 is $6,000,
Mhm.
right? So, right, thanks.
When's the expected date for application for the 15, if you get it?
We had done this, I think, so basically it will be like Jan 1, 2017 for next year. So hopefully we'll get an announcement this month if we get the grant. And since it did take some time for us to get the programs really put together, there was a little bit of a lag, but I think we have a very good setup here that we can implement
So
much
we
quicker.
just email you and say, hey, we're interested?
We, please do. We will be putting announcements. And essentially, for this assistance program, it's an RFP. DBED cannot give grants by law, so it's actually an RFP that you're responding to. So it's an application that you make a proposal.
Yeah,
You would say.
if we emailed you, you can keep us apprised of
We will definitely.
due dates and things like that.
We definitely, as soon as possible, we'll announce.
Do you know where on the DBET website, Lyle, that somebody like these companies here could go?
That's always a good question.
Right.
Business resources
I
is,
think it's
you go down to the,
/export if you go to the URL on the top.
yeah, actually, the website you want to apply, not apply, but make your homepage, invest.hawaii.gov.
What,
invest.hawaii.gov. That's our division.
All the criteria be the same for the new one?
I would think so. I think, again, it's going to expand it to an annual more than just a short term. The 6,000 was going to cover maybe one or two, trade shows. But, 15, we think, that would be your annual plan. So we're looking for probably more detail on that. Great, yeah, here. So, we have the sliders. This is our Tokyo International Gift Show. But as soon as, and in fact, if you scroll down a little bit more, there is a section, events and programs mailing list. So definitely sign up for that because we do send out news to y'all who sign up. If you do send me an email, I will definitely have you on the list and make sure that you know about the next iteration.
Rob and Lyle, could we do a hyperlink to just that site versus the whole DBED site on the HPEC website?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So that we can drive
Oh,
more
well,
business to that?
I mean, if you guys want to.
So that it takes them right to this, so they don't have to scroll through everything?
Yeah.
I mean, there would be one thing, and then the other thing.
To the high step section, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
sure.
right.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, knowing what the requirements are for the companies who have to qualify to apply for that, maybe there's ways we can develop synergies with the type of training programs and whether it's, our export tech program, helping companies develop their export plans so that we can work together with them, so that also helps them qualify for the funding from DBED. I mean, maybe there's some synergies we can do, foreign commercial service, their assistance center, us, and the others.
Oh,
There must be a
definitely.
way we could try to work a calendar on that for some of the programming or some of the things that are needed. But
Well,
definitely
certainly,
a
yeah.
straight hyperlink.
Yeah, well, certainly. I think we've been doing some sort of export training every year, but I think we're getting tighter in terms of integrating, our programs and whatnot. So, for sure, that would be.
I'd just like to develop the synergies
Surely,
that we're all
yeah.
putting in so that it benefits basically the
Of
export
course.
and the clients.
Right.
Applicants, to that grant,
Yes.
about how many, out of all the applicants, like about how many are actually, you folks choose? What are the,
I'm not part of the RFP process, so I can't
uh,
say, but let's just say just apply. You have a very good chance.
okay.
It's, again, we're not sure how it's gonna happen next year,
Mhm.
but
The companies that I've
Go.
helped get these grants,
Mhm.
it's very straightforward. I mean, really,
It-
very straightforward.
it's a 2-page thing.
I mean-
There's a lot of stuff for the RFP,
Mhm.
but really it's your, what am I gonna do? Why am I differentiated? What am I gonna, gain from this? And you say, I'm gonna go to Tokyo International Gift Show, I'm gonna go to Osaka, I'm gonna meet these people, this is what I'm gonna do. 1, 2, 3, applied, and it's not hard.
It's
Get
worth
it,
it.
get it.
25% you have to put up.
Yeah, there's a,
It's very generous.
there's a matching, but,
Yeah, I
it's
find
important.
it very generous, but I guess, again, for me, I'm just representing the the company
Yeah.
that I work for. And so,
So turn it around, who else is gonna give you money to do your
yeah,
business,
in
right?
that
So
respect,
you think
I'm
about
always
that, right?
asked,
Yeah.
like, I'm always asked, like, so what are the chances, because, there's.
Very high
other
chance.
People, gonna apply.
That's all I can say, it's
Yeah.
very,
That's the answer I got the
it's
last
worth,
time.
it's worth
so.
it, it's worth it.
Did you,
Yeah.
did you apply before?
I've never applied, but I started the process on this one. But then, I guess, the owner got a little
Well,
bit, hesitant.
you have to
so-
take a step back though, because you're still you're not sure about exporting in the first place, right?
Yes,
So
and that's why,
exporting-
in order to, in applying for this, I was given the suggestion to take these classes.
Sure.
To learn exporting and
Yeah.
what it's about.
Yeah. So once you're certain about
Mhm.
exporting, then go for it, because, yeah, it's very much worth it.
And by that point, when you are ready for exporting, we ran a program here in the spring called Export Tech, which was sort of an advanced level of export university, and the companies had to be vetted to see if they were actually ready to export.
Right.
And we had 3 full-day sessions here, one a month for 3 months, and we developed with the companies an export plan.
Mhm.
And by the end of the sessions, the 3rd session, they had to present to a little bit of a Shark Tank panel their export plan. It's not a full business plan, but it's a section of a business plan. It's just focused on exporting. And 5 companies graduated from that Export Tech in the spring. And I think that they were all ready to go. I mean, their plans were very detailed. And they had mentors throughout the process. We had interns from UH Business School working with them to do market research and what have you. So it was quite useful.
In being, or like knowing when you're export ready, because it's kind of like this last seminar we had in June. Was it in June? That was here. And where our Kaki folks were here. And part of that, and I guess that's a little bit of a question that I have, and some concerns that we've had, is in being export ready, especially for Japan. And one of the things that they really drove home in this last workshop that I was at was about and a lot of companies here struggle with is being really detailed oriented for the Asian market. And some of our local companies are not always there, and that sometimes creates where I guess an issue where sometimes you have like a one-shot deal because for us it seems okay, and in doing like business with other American companies, but when it comes to like going in a foreign market like in Japan, they're very from a better word, they're very detailed oriented, and if we are not there, I mean, that really matters for them, whether they're going to continue or whether you're going to make it in the exporting, business.
Well, certainly, and we'll talk about it in the marketing talk later, but it requires a change in your company culture, right? You do have to adjust to the customers. There's no question about it. And I would say if you're not able to do that, or you don't want to do that, then you just shouldn't be in the business of exporting, because you will have those bad deals. You'll have a one sale, and that'll be the end of it, right? But if you are willing to adopt and change and help the customers buy from you as much as possible, you'll be a great success.
But I guess maybe I'm not explaining it well, but if we feel that we're export ready, and sometimes in doing the export you kind of might be a little bit rougher on the edges in the beginning, is in that foreign market, are those little hiccups acceptable?
Sure,
Or,
sure. You just have to, you make a mistake, but you learn from it and you do better next time, right? Yeah, I've met many people who have the same trepidation as you do, particularly about the Japanese market. Everybody seems nervous about Japan. And I'm not sure that nervousness is warranted, at least more than, say, I don't know, Mexico or Germany or somewhere, right? I think that people get concerned about Japan because the language is different and culturally it appears to be quite different. But at the end of the day, you still have a customer who needs something and they're buying from you to satisfy that need. So you have to do that. You have to learn specifically what it is that they need from you, but once you learn that, you can have extremely loyal customers from Japan. And as I said earlier, I think if you compound that with the fact that you're a Hawaii-based company, you already have a lot of brand, what's the term? There's just a benefit to you being a Hawaii-based company, right? And so you'll get the benefit of doubt, but you can't continually make mistakes. But I think generally they understand that as long as you're working to fix the problem, whatever it was, and they see that you're working to fix it, I found extremely
in that sense, the relationship
Exactly.
part plays a very important part in that, yeah.
Exactly. So we'll talk a bit about later in marketing, but I just find that I'm shocked at the amount of companies I meet who will go to Japan, for example. I don't mean to unfairly pick on Japan, but it could be Germany or Russia or wherever your business is. But they go to the trade show. They go to the Tokyo International Trade Show. Let's say it starts on Wednesday. They arrive Tuesday night. They go to the Tokyo Big Site on Wednesday morning. They set up the booth. They go to the show. It's 8 hours a day, whatever it is. Friday night the show is over. They go to Narita or Haneda and get the flight back to Honolulu. Right? So they didn't go out. They didn't try to visit any customers' factories or shops or warehouses. I mean, really see what are they all about, right? It's not just yen or dollars that they're sending you. These are people that have needs and wants and desires, and you should go and get dirty, roll up your sleeves and go see where they work. Visit those factories or whatever they do. And I'm just routinely shocked at the way that companies go and they don't explore the market a little more.
Two questions. The first one is, how do we learn what it means to be export ready? That's question number
I'm
one.
gonna talk about that in.
Oh, you, today?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And then the second thing is, for a small company, how do we acquire the skills to plan and create an export process for a company? I'm a physician and a technologist, basically.
Sure.
Okay, I've got a guy who can plan it for a US market, but he's gonna need some help for international markets. So where do I go to get those skills? Do we
John
invent them
will
or
talk-
learn them ourselves?
Well,
or-
no, John will talk a little bit about how the government could help you, the US government could help you. There's another organization in Hawaii called Innovate Hawaii. They can help a little bit on this ramping up manufacturing, whatever. I have a couple slides about them. Or you could go to private sector people like me, who that's my responsibility to go out and help you do that sort of thing and create marketing plans and that sort of stuff. So there's plenty of options for you. But first, I think it's useful to pursue some of these government options, whether it's US government or state government options, because they're there, and I think they're underutilized. This high step grant, in my opinion, was highly underutilized, right? People can get some money to go to trade shows, visit customers, what have you. That's a tremendous benefit, right? Especially when you're talking about international travel. It's not cheap, right? Anyway, we'll come to all of that stuff. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.